They see them working their way up to the high ground here. Rogue trying to move up through the castle. And they're going to try to just make a play on the Envious right here. They pull in Taimu, they take him down. Uncle Jin go down the back lines. Reinforce tries to push away Mickey, but Mickey gets 4! He gets 4 with the self-destruct! Oh, the D.Va delivery service!
Team Envious had a bit of serendipity on their side when Tailspin left their team, but they picked up a D.Va main, and not just any D.Va main, the greatest D.Va main of them all. And due to the recent patch, D.Va's now a force to be reckoned with, and no other pro player flexes their D.Va muscles quite like Envious Mickey, who ended up taking Apex Season 1 at OGN in convincing fashion, due in part to Mickey's stellar D.Va play. In this video, we're going to break down a few of the key components of why Mickey is so effective on D.Va, and the first one we're going to go over is his man-to-man tanking playstyle. In real-life sports, I'm sure some of you have heard, there's a few formation types called zone or man-to-man. In zone, a player plays an area, whereas on man-to-man, a player plays against another player. That's how I would best describe how D.Va should be played, as well as an area that Mickey excels at. It could simply be said, select their star player and put defensive matrix in their face until they cry. But what separates Mickey from other D.Va players out there is his stellar awareness of how to switch between targets. D.Va's damage is pretty good, but he never gets too greedy with playing for his own impact. Oftentimes you'll see a major D.Va mistake where players are trying to snipe with D.Va or shooting far too long. Mickey is excellent at playing his role as D.Va to set up the rest of his team. Not to just make plays for himself, but have the awareness to know when in the mid-fight, it's most important for him to be. And that is simply put a good rule of thumb. Despite the good damage D.Va can do in between doing her tanking, her main role is tanking. So on the initiation or in a mid-fight, Mickey has the awareness to place himself into the face of the enemy star DPS player instead of staying in prolonged irrelevant fights himself. It was difficult to track down a lot of great examples of this because we don't have replays yet. I can't go into Mickey's perspective at all times. I'm at the whims of the spectators of these pro events. But here on Attack, Mickey shows off his selfless playstyle, playing to do his role to set up the rest of his team. The enemy is running a Pharah, and if gone uncontested, is likely to land some key rockets into Envious's squishy targets. Mickey flies up into the face of Pharah in order to deny her value, buying time for the rest of her team to move up. Mickey does catch a Roadhog hook and does get knocked out of his mech, and to a novice player it might seem like all he's doing is running in and dying, but that's where you'd be wrong. I toss around the word value a lot because it's the basis of mastering good Overwatch play. Yes, he was knocked out of mech, but on the initiation, you have to think about the value that was taken away from the enemy team. Pharah had multiple seconds where she couldn't shoot the targets she actually wanted to shoot, also taking Mercy out of the fight too, who's supposed to be damage boosting that Pharah damage, and he had a Roadhog hook, which though does take him out of mech, doesn't remove him from the battlefield. Roadhog is used to try to focus divas, but in reality, you're forced to do it out of necessity, not because you want to. Roadhog would much rather be hooking a key squishy target rather than knocking D.Va out of the mech, especially since as this fight develops, Mickey works up to his mech again anyway. And all that time that Mickey bought in the first initiation of the fight put Rogue on the back foot and allowed Envious an opening into the fight. The key to succeeding like this through your team is being a very selfless tank. Being in the spot that your team needs you to be, regardless of what it means for your own personal health or kill-death ratio. As a tank, it's your job to make way for the team, and that's what Mickey does. Robs the enemy DPS of their value, making space for his DPS to do work on the front line. Another interesting talent that Mickey showed off at Apex was some key boop usage. Here, Mickey gives Reinforce a love tap hip to hip, sending him flying off the map at the break of the fight. Rogue has no choice but to back up, because this pushes over. If your team has a Rhine shield at full health and the enemy team doesn't, you have no chance to fight your way back into the battle. And unfortunately for Reinforce, this play happened just after he pinned the D.Va ult into his entire team, killing 4 of them. I'd be speculating if this is why he's not on Rogue anymore, but I think it's fair to say that Mickey was giving him a hard time. Here, Rogue are making their way up to the high ground on Hanamura B, and Mickey comes in from the backside, booping them all uncomfortably close to his friendly Reinhardt. Come on in, boys, the water's fine! They pop Sound Barrier to initiate into the fight, and Mickey pops the self-destruct behind them, closing the door, and the enemy team's Reinhardt is left with nothing to shield, no good angles, and nothing but death around them. Using just 2 ultimates like this to win a fight is picture-perfect defense play. And the last key component of Mickey's play is superior self-destruct placements. Mickey always finds the perfect angle in the enemy team's formation in such a way that it guarantees to hit something or to force the enemy to make a huge overcommitment to not die to it. Based on reading where he likes to place it, the money location is just slightly behind the Reinhardt by a few meters so that the explosion is going to hit a blast radius towards the squishies behind them, and crucially, it's far enough away from the Reinhardt so that even if he did want to try to save his own life or to pin it, he'd have to make a massive turn in order to look towards it. He doesn't just do this by himself, though. It's through the coordination with his team that they get the most value out of self-destruct. Here in the Streets phase, Envious pop 3 ults in succession, all of which are basically attempted to make the Reinhardt turn, to set up for the Earth Shatter to come from Coco. Death Blossom and Self-Destruct are diving down the center lane. The enemy do kill Reaper, but in the mess of it all, the Reinhardt must have turned, because as the camera turned, we see that Coco knocked them all down with Earth Shatter, allowing for the D.Va ult to clean up whatever was left. The coordination between Mickey and Coco is pretty impeccable. Even a pretty bad D.Va ultimate like this, Coco's there to make a hero play to guarantee that the D.Va ult has value. On this last one, I'm going to call the D.Va ult heard around the world. The way that Envious split Reinforce set up Envious to conquer their biggest competition at Apex, in my opinion, Rogue, to win out the last map to progress into the semifinals. Mickey baits Reinforce to turn to shield the blast of the self-destruct, but Coco from the other angle is set up for the Earth Shatter on all of them anyway. This knocks them all on their back, wiping the team, and was a crucial play for them to close out this map. Guys, let me know what you think of this pro breakdown in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. It really does help us out. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We upload each and every day. Check out our Discord server, our Twitch stream, and our Twitter. All linked in the description. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.